They were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
But even at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we've canceled a $300,000 contract educating on food justice for queer and transgender farmers in San Francisco. A similar contract we canceled in New York, again educating transgender and queer farmers on food justice and food equality. I'm not even sure what that means, but apparently the last administration wanted to put our taxpayer dollars towards that. We canceled a $600,000 contract out of Louisiana that was studying the menstrual cycles of transgender men, a $600,000 contract. We canceled another contract out of a university in the middle of the country that focused on getting more diversity, equity, and inclusion into our pest management industry. Again, these are nonsensical. It makes zero sense to use taxpayer dollars to fund these. I know these are just a few examples of the hundreds and hundreds that we have found.
The EPA has now canceled over $22 billion worth of contracts. $2 billion going to this NGO that Stacey Abrams was tied to. They received only $100 in 2023. And then the Biden administration gave them $2 billion. The director of the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund saw his former employer get $5 billion. So $20 billion went to just 8 NGOs, and they're all pass-throughs. And then they were giving it to other entities. Many of them were pass-throughs. And what you have is all these extra middlemen, they're taking their cut. And the taxpayer ends up getting screwed. They're losing out on all this hard-earned money. They can't afford to have the federal government waste.
What waste? This is not waste. This is what is making America great. This is what has made America the way it should be. We have people out there that are coming up with all this amazing stuff to clean the environment up. Bonus, helping people who are, transgender, or they're, queer, or they got something going on. They need some help, so they need some tax dollars for that. And what are we going to do about how in the world would green energy even happen if it wasn't for the fact that the amazing Democrats that have been in power the past few years were smart enough to be able to take some of that money from, of course, they weren't taking money from me and you. They were taking it from the billionaires. This was from billionaire taxes, not me and you. I mean, obviously. So they're taking it from the billionaires and making sure that it goes to the right place. That's what Democrats are all about. And this is why Elon Musk is ruining it for all of us. He's going to make this country just completely fall apart because he's going to take away all this important money he just wants to make sure that he keeps his money and he gets to do whatever he wants with his money that he earned and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's stupid. What I'm talking about is us taking the money from the billionaires, which we need to tax more, so that we can move the money smoothly over to these amazing programs that benefit. I don't know what he's talking about with waste. This isn't waste. This is how you make things better. I mean, how in the world would we even know about transgender? We wouldn't. How would we know about what transgender and farming is about? You wouldn't know. You would have no idea. How in the world would we get money to go from one hand to another hand and make sure that it gets to all the correct Democrats if it wasn't for these programs, these NGOs? These NGOs, we get rid of these NGOs, we're done. We got nothing. So what we need to do is really get behind AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Bernie Sanders and make sure that they get all the power that we need there so that we can stop everything that Trump is doing. We're going to have, think of the amount of work that we're going to have to do here going forward. We're going to have to reverse all this stuff that Elon Musk is doing, all the stuff that Trump's doing. We're going to have to really hunker down. So this is not the time to rest. It's not the time to be sitting around boo-hooing or anything like that. This is the time to fight. We need to fight. We need to get out there. We need to get to the streets. We need to make sure that we can get back in power so that we can get all these NGOs, all the billions of dollars that they obviously deserve, because why would they have it if they didn't deserve it? So let's get going. All of us, let's get behind AOC, Jasmine Crockett, and let's turn this ship around before they sink us all.